How's it going? Everybody, we got Rikishi in there.
What is going on, man?
Not much. I'm gonna turn off the comments for a couple of minutes because I want you to introduce, say hello to everybody, let everybody know what's going on this Sunday.
Well, I want to thank everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank you, my friend, for inviting me onto your IG handle. I'd like to thank all the fans out there for continued support here at the Wrestling Classic. It's a huge weekend for us here at Knokxpro Entertainment. We're talking about legends. We're talking about icons. We're talking about WWE Hall of Famers. We're talking about VIP signings. We're talking about fan engagement. We're talking about things for kids. The list goes on with celebrities and so forth. And most of all, it's the family reunion, the first time ever. The Samoan Dynasty family members. It'll be a total of 14 of us that are going to be in the house together for the first time ever for a meet and greet fan experience that the fans have never ever seen before. And it's going to go down at Southern California Fair. It's Wrestlefair.com, Sunday, April 29th.
That's insane. And I read some of the names of the people that are going to be there. You're going to have like Roman Reigns' dad, your former tag team partner, Samu, Rocky Johnson. Like, there's quite a lot of people coming for this family part of the event, which is really cool. And I think we hear about the Samoan family and the Samoan Dynasty a lot, mostly in professional wrestling these days with guys like your sons, the Usos and Roman Reigns. It's still relevant. It's still a really big thing in professional wrestling. And it's cool that people can actually have a chance to meet the rest of their family. I think that's something that people don't get the opportunity to do a lot. It's like getting an inside look with at a family event or something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like you guys actually coming into our home. It's like we're letting the public into our home for the first time, and to be able to hear the past, the present, and the future family members of the Samoan Dynasty that are in this industry, and to be able to hear their stories. And I do a lot of wrestling Comic-Con signings throughout the whole world, and it's always like I look around and I love that part, to be able to engage with my fans and to hear their Rikishi stories. They hear a few of my family members' stories, and past, present, and future. But it's always that point to where I'm having to answer those type of questions, and so it really feels good that now that the fans are able to come and to be able to have the family members there in person. Like, you don't have to ask Rikishi anymore. You can turn around and ask Uncle Sika. You can ask Uncle Rocky Johnson. You can ask my partner Samu. You can ask my nephews that are going to be there. My Uso Black Pearl. My new son that just came into the business, Sefa Fatu. I mean, the list goes on and on. Alpha Jr. will be there. I mean, and keep in mind, this is going to be 14 strong. And this is not even most of us. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm very excited. To me personally, it's history in the making, because Sunday, April 29th, 2018, will be the birth of the first time ever meet and greet for the fans with the Samoan Dynasty.
I think that's amazing, and I think once again, like, we hear about the Samoan family a lot, the Inoue family, when it comes to professional wrestling for years now, and for a lot of my followers that some of them don't watch wrestling anymore but used to watch for years, this is super cool for them too. What was I going to ask next? So I guess we should get into more like, what is Knokxpro? Because maybe a lot of people aren't sure what Knokxpro is. So I know what it is. I know you know what it is. Why don't we explain to everyone what Knokxpro professional wrestling is?
Well, Knokxpro Entertainment is first of all, it's a Knokxpro Entertainment. It's a Knokxpro Academy out here in Los Angeles, California. We had a building to where we're able to train kids fully to understand the business, to teach them what it is to be a professional wrestler, what comes with the industry, and to be able to teach the fundamentals of taking bumps and learning their craft. And also Knokxpro Academy, it is Knokxpro Entertainment. Knokxpro Entertainment has produced well over I want to say 500-something plus shows overseas in Italy. We ran there for well over We actually branded a company out there and ran there for a decade. And then Knokxpro Entertainment, and a lot of people don't know this, but Knokxpro Entertainment, with myself and my Uso account Black Pro, we spearheaded the first ever Hulkamania tour in Australia.
I do remember that, yeah.
I'm sure you guys fed. So yes, you're looking at one of the Samoan Usos behind the scene, which is myself, and my other Uso, Reno on Hawaii, is just Count Black Pearl. So we helped spearhead it. That first time ever bringing Hulk to Australia, which was something that's never been done before. All this time I thought Hulk was already been, in Australia through WWF back in the day, but and that never happened. So
that was the first time that Hulk Hogan had a tour in Australia.
That was the first time, and Knokxpro.
That was like, what was that, 2009, 2010, I think? That's crazy.
I believe it is.
That's insane. I never knew that. That's actually really cool, and that was done by Knokxpro. That's awesome.
So Knokxpro Entertainment.
And then the Wrestlefair, you guys also bring a lot of people in. Like, what are some names people can expect this Sunday if they come to the show in Paris?
Well, they're going to be. You're going to be there if you've seen it. Go on Wrestlefair.com. You'll see a lot of my friends that are going to be there. A lot of my new friends. Prime Time is going to be in the building. The tag team. WWE the Diva Champion Candice Michelle. She's going to be in the house. We got Martin Kleba. My little man, Martin Kleba, is going to be in the house. We got this new cat all the way from Barcelona, Spain.
Wow.
He's 7'4", a giant by the name of Spaniard. And when you guys see this guy here, you'd think it's like the rebirth of Andre the Giant. And,
is he that big? Wow. Yeah.
7'4", man. I mean, this guy's hands, they're probably double my hands. You put them together like that.
That's an attraction, let alone right there. But yeah.
Yeah. So we got a lot of.
I think I saw Darren Young's gonna be there. The Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman as well is gonna be there. We got Reno Scum, one of the probably toughest, a very talented tag team up here in North California, coming from Reno, Nevada. We also have Joey Ryan's going to be in the house. We have who else? We got my buddies, G1 Boys. They're going to be. We're going to have the Ninja Turtles in the house.
That's awesome.
We got Transformers. 4 Transformers are going to be walking all around for the kids. We got games for the kids.
Kids are gonna love that. That's gonna be awesome. What was I gonna ask too? With everyone happening, that you guys, I heard you guys do like a lucha show beforehand too. Like there's a lot of luchador wrestling happening as well.
Yeah, we also, in professional wrestling, it's a Wrestlefair, and so we try to mix it up with a lot of things. Also, it comes right back to wrestling. There's so many kids that are out there, independent kids, and when will they ever be able to get a chance to grace a big stage in front of a big audience? And so we're going to have 2 exhibition matches to give to these kids, to these different professional indie wrestlers that are going to be there, as well. As the first time that they're going to be seen, it's our part to be able to put them on and let the fans, see their talent, their passion of the industry. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to have a Lucha Libres show. So it'll be like 2 to 3 matches during that time. And then it goes into the big one, man. It's the super show that only Knokxpro Entertainment can deliver out here in the West Coast.
That's awesome. That's cool. It's great for the West Coast too, because most of the time you don't get that much stuff here on the West Coast. But Knokxpro's got it down, so it's awesome.
No, dude, and listen, and this was it's a big shout out to Knokxpro Entertainment. I mean, we have a busy crew, a bunch of passionate guys, women, and guys that are behind the scenes. That work their butt off 24/7 to be able to book. We're talking well over 60 talents that's coming to this event. We're talking about the 3 to 4 months of promotion. We're talking about 24/7, non-sleepless nights and so forth. So finally, I'm so stoked and I'm so excited, dude. Like, I can't wait to join the Battle Royal that night. And I damn sure don't know somebody's going to get delivered the stink face that night.
The stink face.
Stress free, Well,
I guess on that note, I think it's time. I'm gonna open up the floodgates. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of questions that we're gonna get a lot of interesting questions. I'm gonna let the comments come through now. So this is where all of you watching this who stuck in here still, I'm gonna open the comment section up so you guys can ask questions. I'm gonna be putting on my glasses so I can read them. And then we're gonna take your questions. I know, give us some questions of whatever you guys are interested in. I know we'll get some Attitude Era questions possibly. We'll get some Roman and Uso questions for sure. But let's get this going on.
Are you gonna see them, or I see them too?
Do you see them? I just opened them.
Oh, okay.
They should be coming. They should be coming through soon.
I see a lot of hearts going up.
Yeah.
Hello. I see you guys. Thank you guys for joining.
There we go.
All right. Let me get some.
Well, I guess I'll start with a big question since we're doing this. Just personally, like I it's crazy. I was doing my research today and I saw. I didn't realize this till today, and it's weird for me because I feel like I'm a little bit of a student of the game. I research as much as I can, but I didn't realize that you and your brother are twins. And then you had twins, and your brother had twins. Obviously, the Usos are your kids, and then your brother also had. I was like, that's the craziest thing in the world. I learned that today.
Well, for the record, let me go ahead and correct this.
Yeah.
So it's weird that you asked me that because I just did an Xbox show last night, and they asked me the same question for one of the guys that was on this show. No, I'm not a twin.
You're not a twin? Does Wikipedia have this wrong?
Yeah, I never believe Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So what happened? I mean, shame on you, Wikipedia. Shame on you.
Yeah.
My brother
steered me the wrong way. Yeah.
No, I have 4 brothers. And, myself, the oldest, and I have Tom the kid, and then I have my younger brother. His name is Steven, and then the youngest one is the late Umanga, the bulldozer. Yeah. And so, Tom the kid, we were. A lot of people think that us two were twins, but I don't know how that because I look nothing like him.
Yeah, no, I was confused too. I'm like, I thought I'd pick that up, but I didn't know. Like, that's why it's something that was shocking to me today because I just read that today.
Dude, that's why
I never thought that before.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, we do when you're younger. I guess we are brothers. So, but I never thought we looked like twins, and a lot of people mistake us for twins, but no. He was actually our partner. He was actually my partner when me and my cousin Samu were the SST for NWA. Being we were Sir Oliver Humperdinck was our manager back in the day. That was before when me and Samu was. We were the first Paul Heyman guys back in the day. Was my partner in SST in the NWA. But no, we're not.
That too. You guys, it was you two together first. The Samoan SWAT team.
Right. We actually started
here's a question from the Monday Night War, and I don't know how you're going to answer this one because it's probably time. What was your all-time favorite stink face?
Oh, it has to be Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie McMahon? That's hilarious. Let's see what other questions here.
That blew up the internet. That
did. The one that I see, the one that I see all the time that gets really popular now, even when I post it, is the one where you shove where The Rock shoves Vince's face in your ass.
Yeah.
That one's a really popular one. That one's a really popular one on the internet these days.
Well, yeah, that's the viral. That's the viral stink face. That's what I like.
Viral stink face.
I like to call that. The viral face.
There was a shirt that was. This is like an urban myth of this shirt that got released. And it was a stink face shirt, and it said "Back that ass up." Have you ever seen that shirt? Does that ring a bell at all?
Did it have my face in the front of it?
It had your ass on it, and it said "Back that ass up," and it said "stink face." And
that was during the Attitude Era. That's right.
Was that a shirt you recall that shirt?
That was one of my hottest selling T-shirts too, man.
Was it? Well, Keith me. She's been asking me about it for weeks. She does a lot of stuff for vintage wrestling tees, and I'm like, I'll ask him if he knows about that shirt because I don't recall it, but that's awesome. I
do. I mean, we're talking a while back, so it's like sometimes this is the reason why it's so cool for me when I'm talking to fans and to be able to talk with people such as yourself is just to be able to walk down memory lane. The things that you guys always had in mind to ask and. It's such a good thing to be able to. It's my way of giving back to fans. was what I call fan engagement with each other.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that, you know, we have things like IG, Facebook Live, and, you know, Periscope, and yada, yada, yada. Because, you know, it gives me an opportunity to say simply thank you to all my fans across the world. Because, you know, I've never, you know, you know, you never would probably in a million years meet me, or I would never be able to meet you way out there across the country, but through the internet, through live streaming like this, it's just a beautiful thing. And I look forward to doing more with you.
Yeah, this will be great. I'm more than happy to do more of these. I think everyone's kind of enjoying this, and I'm behind with questions. So, someone wants to know, who was your favorite wrestler to work with?
Oh my goodness,
That's a tough one.
You know, it's a tough one because there's so many of them. But yeah. I'm gonna go with the Samoan Dynasty. I'm gonna go with
Samoan Dynasty.
I'm gonna go with Yokozuna. Yokozuna is because, you know, we were all raised up together. You know, like It's like it took me back to when we first started jumping around in my mother's bedroom. You know, acting like wrestlers on her king size bed, and so when you're working against your cousin who you've been raised up with, there's a lot of ribs in there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of jokes and pranks that we pull in front of, you know, 30,000 people while we're wrestling. And you know this, that when we're out there, that, you know, we're going to be able to protect each other the best way we can, but we also bring the competitive, the best out of each other. Is because as family, not only you want to go out there and steal a show, but you want to represent. And, you know, and so coming from the same bloodline, to me, it's always fun to be able to work with, you know, guys like Yokozuna, The Rock, you know, my cousins, Moo. I mean, the list goes on. So,
do you have any memorable stories with working with them? One of these pranks or something that you'd be willing to share?
With Yokozuna?
Yeah, with Yokozuna, sure.
Oh, well, first of all, a lot of people don't know, but Yokozuna loved rap music.
Did he?
I mean, we were from the West Coast, baby.
Yeah.
And so,
same here,
West
Coast.
Yeah, he loved rap music. He was also like loved the freestyle. You know, he was like a poet. But he every time when we get in, I'd be the guy to go get the rent-a-car.
Yeah.
And him and Uncle Fuji would wait at baggage claim. And so I would get on the shuttle bus and I'd go around, knowing that we're late to the event, but I would just pull a prank on them and show up in like a small Toyota.
That's on purpose, because he wouldn't be able to. That's just mean.
So I show up. When you show up and you see a big, you know, 600-pound sumo wrestler, and you see a bald-head Japanese old man standing by the curbside, and then I show up in a small little, it's almost like one of those small Toyotas. It's like, it's the worst. It's the worst facial you'll ever see. It's like they both wanted to kill me.
That's, you know? So funny.
And of course, I had to go back and return. I would just take an hour or 2 hours just to rip them all the time, but
just for the prank, and that's being true to your prank. To stay true to the rib. Yeah, you got to stay true to the rib, or you have to believe it yourself. It's not going to happen.
Well, we have to have fun. It's already hard enough being out on the road. You're being away from your family, and if you just, you know, if you're out there 200-something days out of the year, man, I mean, if me and you were like that, we'd both live in each other out there. Just so we
got to laugh at some point, or you're going to get angry at each other. It's one of the
absolutely. So,
Notorious Ribber, I guess a personal question. Do you have any Owen Hart rib stories? Or
what's that?
Do you have any stories about Owen Hart in the rib? Because I've heard so many stories about Owen Hart, and everyone always has a different one.
Oh, man, that's the king of the ribs, man.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because he was the king of the ribs.
Man, I think one time, I'm not sure, I know it was Owen, because somebody, I don't know which talent, during a house show that was actually, they got to win, and it was a big deal, you know, the ring music, the music went on, and so the guy was doing his deal, and before he wasn't even finished with his deal, he was coming to his, the main part of his act, and I think he turned the music off. He turned the music off on that, and everybody looked around like, you know, the guy was so pissed off, and I can't remember which wrestler it was, but he was that type of prankster. Like he would professionally get in there, mess up your act just to have a laugh for the whole locker. And it's funny because soon as that happened, nobody in the locker room had to get up to go find out who it was. Mm-hmm. It's like we already like, okay, that must have been
it's Owen. That's like you just knew, and that's
yeah. But he was always like he was always like a clean ripper. He wasn't a bad ripper to hurt your stuff or to ruin your personal goods. Yeah, he was never like that. You know what I mean?
No, fair enough. That's awesome. A common question that keeps going through here, so I'm going to ask it. I'm kind of curious too. Like, it's obviously for me. I was a kid at that point, and it was a big moment. I remember seeing it and being like shocked. A lot of people here have the same feeling I'm getting here. How did it feel, that Hell in the Cell spot where you got choke slammed off the cage from the Undertaker onto the truck? Like, what was going through your mind before that happened, and how did you react when you first heard you were going to do that?
Man, it was scary, man. It's what, when you go through something like that to where you kind of know what's supposed to be out there. And then when that truck pulled out, it had 2 rails, those steel rails on the side of it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when you're looking at that, it's the feeling of I either hit that spot dead on, or we're gonna have another 10 count.
Yeah.
And
that's great. It's one of the most memorable moments, I think, personally.
The feeling is the show goes on, and you got to deliver. So when you're out there, and you're hearing like 30,000 people that scream, and that it just gives you that energy. Like there's no turning back. Yeah. Even though I see what's in front. I can't. There's no way Kishi can say, like, I can't take that fall. So when Undertaker grabbed me in the chokeslam, went to go to throw me down, I pretty much told him my last words was tell my family I love them.
Yeah, those are real.
It was real, man.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people forget though. So when you hear the other stuff, it's always like that's real, man. Take risks that a lot of people wouldn't take in this business.
But I mean, this is what you sign up for. We put it all on the lines for the fans. There's no holds barred. I mean, when you go out there every single night, if you're not coming out there with the attitude to come out to steal the show and to perform and to give it your best, then there's no reason for you to even be a professional wrestler or an entertainer out there. Because I look at it, I take it very personally that people pay their hard-earned money. They don't make a lot of money. But when they come to a wrestling show, it's their way of getting away from reality. It's their way of getting away from a lot of stress that are out the doors of their home or even in the world. So when they come to us, it is very important. I mean, I'm talking about, Rikishi Fatu. It is very important for Fatu to be able to deliver and to do my part to give that father and that wife and her kids a good time, to be able to go home and smile and know that they came and they had a great time watching one of their favorite professional wrestlers.
No, that's 100% true, and I couldn't agree more. It would be really bad if you went and you put your hard-earned money to go watch a show and you didn't. Personally, and this is a personal opinion, and I do love the UFC and I do appreciate what people do in the UFC, and it's a lot of hard work. But I'm like, it's kind of a bummer when you spend like $60 on a pay-per-view and the big fight you're waiting for ends in like 30 seconds. The thing with wrestling is you'll always get a show. You'll leave with your money's worth because everyone's going to put the best show they can put on, I guess moving forward, how did you feel when you found out that Jay and Jimmy and the Usos wanted to become professional wrestlers? How did that feel to you?
Well, as a father, I didn't want them to come into the industry. They were still in college. The plan was for Jimmy to go directly to NFL. They were both fantastic athletes on the gridiron. And I didn't want them to go to the industry. I mean, when they were coming through, I was every bit of like 20-something years in the industry already. And I didn't want my boys to go through what I went through. I didn't want them to be able to have their body broken down at such an early age. And also I was kind of like, well, are they going to be able to do this? I mean, are they meant to? They've been around it all their lives. They've seen it with me. I mean, we've moved from city to city, state to state, different schools. And so, like I said yesterday on Xbox show, as a father, it's not about me. When my kids came to me, all I can do is support their wishes. And I'm going to give you the real, man. You're not going to get it easy. You're going to go out there. You're not going to ride on your father's coattails. And that's the one thing that our family, everybody in the Samoan Dynasty, everybody does not ride off of each other's coattail. We know that it's a bloodline, but you have to put in work. You have to fill your own shoes. You have to build your own legacy, build your own name in this industry. And that's what I told with Jimmy and Jay, and also with Roman as well. And, I'm very proud of my boys. I'm very proud that they're a household name. They're very good out there. I'm not worried. I'm solid about them making the right choices out there in the industry and so forth. So I want them to retire faster, though. I don't want them to be in the business 20-something years, 30-something years like I do. You know what I mean? So there's life after wrestling, and I'm just so thankful and grateful and blessed to be able to walk away from the industry versus being paralyzed in the industry. You follow me?
No, for sure, because we've seen that happen to a lot of wrestlers over the years that didn't decide to step away at an earlier period of time. And you want to remember them when they're at their best, I think, right? How cool was it for you? I think it was 2015, 2016 when they put the Usos and Roman in a program to work together. I think that must have been super cool for the whole family. Like that's pretty awesome to see all three of them. And you guys, you must have seen them. Like, obviously, it's a different perspective. Like, we saw them once they become stars, but to know them, obviously, because they're your sons and your nephew and stuff, as like little kids, to see them doing that, like, that must have been a super cool moment.
Oh yeah, well, our living room was full. We had uncles and everybody. We're just proud, as any family member would be, to be able to see your family members out there representing, following their dreams and doing well at it. And so the bragging rights was sky high in the living room. You know what I mean? Sure. Everybody was so happy and so we were nothing but, joy and happiness. It was a good photo op.
Sure.
It was a hell of a photo op. And you haven't seen that in a while with them anymore,
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. I was hoping they'd kind of be on the same show again, but that didn't happen. What I've noticed with the Usos were, like, I've always appreciated their wrestling style. I've loved watching them. They're always fun to watch and stuff. But I really, really got invested in them recently when they turned heel and they started doing the Uso penitentiary. And it felt like they were kind of being allowed to be more themselves than beforehand. And they're really comfortable with what they're doing now. Do you think... Well, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the heel characters of the Usos compared to the babyface characters of the Usos?
Well, change is good to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody knows about changing characters, you're looking right at him.
Oh, no, for sure.
I've done so many, and so...
Yeah, you were the Sultan at one point.
Not to say that the first character wasn't a hit.
Yeah.
I'm a big... That was more closer to me, because it has a lot to do with our culture.
Yeah.
Being Polynesian, to represent your culture. I mean, you understand all that. It's such a prideful thing. When you represent your culture, that's huge. And so, when that went through, it kind of like drawn itself out.
Yeah.
And and then to be able to talk about making that type of change and so forth. It was kind of an easy transaction because I was like, there's really nothing to think about. Just go out and be yourself. You're just going to take the paint off and, your kids, you're the one that's out there. So you don't feel comfortable with what you are out there. It's never going to come across organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but the only thing is like, did I miss something? I never knew you guys were in a penitentiary.
Yeah.
You know?
What is this
You
even
know?
penitentiary? Is this how you guys
Right.
feel inside?
Right. I get the cool
yeah.
swag and the cool look and stuff. I get that. That's the new era.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, that's that swag type of thing, and it looks
I
good
feel
to
like
me.
they're more comfortable. I feel like they're being more themselves, expressing themselves as like you can even pick up the individuality between the two of them now, which I
Right.
found harder before, which is
What?
also really cool. What was I gonna say about the change? Oh, and I also think, personal opinion, I think what would be really cool is that one of these years, like at WrestleMania, just for like a one-time throwback, they come out and they get to do the Samoan War dance one more time. I think that would be super cool at a WrestleMania as a special entrance. Hopefully, I can pitch that and somebody will hear that. But I think that'd be a really cool idea as a one-time entrance.
Right now. To everybody that's watching, we're pitching that right now. So make it happen.
Just one more time.
Make it happen.
Cool. Yeah.
You know?
Now on that note, so we saw a change in character in the Usos, and it brought, and for me, like personally, I think it brought the best out of them. What would you think if they did the same with Roman? Do you think Roman needs to turn heel because he's one of the most polarizing characters on television today? How do you feel about Roman? Because I think he's great. I find him entertaining to watch. I think he's fun to watch as a wrestler. He does get a reaction. He has the look. He looks great. But there is something about him that the fans aren't connecting with. What is your opinion?
Well, the fans, I feel they're not connected because he's the it. There's no doubt. He has what it looks. He has what it takes. He's that. I mean, look at his body. You look at his face. You know, to add on where he comes from, his bloodline. And you know, I've always said this before. Like, you know, I'm speaking for myself. This is my opinion. You know, that I would probably change heel myself.
Yeah.
You know, if you keep going out and then, you know, the people, you know, WWE universe, they're strong, man. I mean, they're strong. They can be rude. They can be vicious, but they can also be very, very supportive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, listen, it's that simple. You know what I mean? I think right now you know, what plans that they have for him, it just looks like they're going to keep him babyface and so forth. And, you know, for me as a family member, whatever direction that he decides to go or that he decides to choose, it just, to me, it's like as a family member, I personally just want him to stay mentally sound, physically healthy, and to be able to take care of yourself. Because no doubt, and there is no doubt in my mind, that Roman Reigns is going to be the big dog, the guy, for a long, long time.
I don't doubt it either. It's and I know it's like I don't want to like have history repeat itself, but I feel like if similar to what they did with The Rock, if you sell to the boos because you're getting booed, eventually the fans will have no reason to boo, and then they'll like eventually like what they dislike about you, if you embrace it and then you accept it and then you become that person, eventually I think they'll pick up and start liking me. But I understand all the logistics with, you know, the kids and everything else and what they're trying to do. It's a tough situation, but
Right.
I think some people boo him because it's the cool thing to do, but also I think he's not as bad as a lot of people give him. They give him a lot of flack, and I think he's doing a great job with what he's dealing with.
Well, you just mentioned it right there.
Yeah.
You're looking at The Rock's career all over again.
Yeah. Do you mind just moving your phone or something? Because you're kind of frozen on my screen. Maybe just give it a move or something. If it comes back.
Good.
I'm not sure. Is it working on your side?
Yeah, I can see you very good.
Oh, interesting. Okay. It's frozen.
I can see it very well.
It works now.
Oh, you're freezing up.
No, I should be good now.
You good?
I am. Someone's saying it's not working for us. Do you mind if I just close this and invite you back in? Will you accept it?
All right. Sounds good.
One moment. Sorry, guys. We'll get that right back. That just kind of froze up there for a second. There we go. We're back.
We're good?
We're good.
All right.
So,
well,
yeah. So,
what we're talking about is kind of like the rebirth of Rock all over again. You know, you remember when The Rock, I mean, they booed him back in the day with the Nation of Domination.
Yeah.
And then they gave The Rock the mic, and next you know, when Rock turned babyface, he was the most loved professional wrestler out there during the Attitude Era, and the rest was history.
Yeah.
And so I kind of, you know, to me, it kind of like, it seems like that's what Roman is going through out there.
Yeah.
You know, they're giving him a hell of a big push. I mean, he looks like money.
He does.
You know what I mean? So, you know,
I think it's more.
There's a lot of the boys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the boys that would want to be in Roman's shoes right now.
No, for sure. And that's always the thing too. I'm like, and I always try to put it in that perspective. I'm like, well, a lot of people are upset with the way that he's being booked. I don't want to get too technical. The way that he's being pushed, which I totally understand. Like, I personally was, like I said before, I'd rather him kind of turn heel and then come back and be the baby face and let's give him that moment. But at the same time, I'm like, if I was Roman Reigns and I was in his shoes, I wouldn't be like, yeah, turn me heel if I have a great thing going on. So. One second here. We're not buying it. Oh, I think we froze again. Unfortunately.
Go to David.
I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna make sure this works here. But yeah, that's basically.
Yeah, buddy.
I think Roman and the Usos have both been doing a tremendous job. It's also kind of cool to see the inside of what's your take on Naomi? I guess because she's a part of the family now, Trinity.
I'm very proud of my daughter-in-law, man. She's doing good. She's out there whooping that ass. She's very entertaining. I love her gear. I love her energy that's out there. Very charismatic.
Yeah.
I like to see her in a lot of matches with Charlotte Flair. I feel Naomi, with her gymnastic ability, and we all know how Charlotte Flair works. She's just.
I was going to say both athleticism together would be tremendous.
Yeah.
They could tell a really cool story.
They would be, you know, they would mesh very well together to be able to work together. So that's a match that I always like to, you know, to be able to watch. Every time she's on SmackDown, we text each other, you know, and I'll always come back and this, you know, just giving my advice of what happened and this, what yada yada yada, you know.
Yeah, and that's true. And honestly, now that I think of it, that would be tremendous. I'm thinking about like on a proper stage, like a SummerSlam or something, a Naomi versus Charlotte match would be great for the belt. They could really steal the show with the right amount of time and just being able to tell a story like it would be great. Because I'm big on like the psychology and storytelling part of wrestling. Like you can have a super great match, but I like when you get me invested in it because you're telling a great story in the ring. It's not just move after move after move, which is awesome. Besides, who are some of your other favorites right now? Besides, you know, the Usos, Roman, Naomi, like to watch.
You know what, man? I really don't watch it too much, to be honest.
Fair enough, yeah.
You know, I only watch it to when one of my old time friends that are coming in there, they're doing something, or when my kids go on, or my daughter-in-law, or family members, Roman, and so forth. I watch that is to be able to turn around and give my input.
Yeah.
Then after that, there's certain people that'll catch me and hook me. Well, a person like Bray Wyatt. I'm a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. And reason being why I'm a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt has perfected his craft
For sure.
so well to his gimmick. Hey, dude, he makes he really understands his character out there, and it's nice to see a big person instead of a bodybuilder type of person. It's nice to be a big person, not only who can work, but who is over out there and who understands how to deliver their character.
Yeah.
And sorry, Rikishi is a big fan of Bray Wyatt, and I want to wish
That's
him
awesome.
luck. I want to wish him continued success, and I want to wish him nothing but health and keep representing the big man out there, you know?
No, for sure. Growing up, who were some of your favorite wrestlers? Like, who inspired you?
My uncles, man.
Yeah.
It was my uncles, and I keep coming back to the Samoan Dynasty family. It's because, you know, that's really what brought me to the game. Was out there. You see High Chief Peter Maivia, who paved the way for the Dynasty, and then you see Sika and Alpha. And then, you know, here we come with Yokozuna and Samu and myself. You know, they were so, you know, once you got there and you watched them train and you smelled the mat, able to feel the rope and get in there and you put on your first wrestling Wild Samoan tights on, you know, you're hooked after. And then it was like me going to college, dude. Like I really wanted to perfect the art, the craft of professional wrestling when I decided that I was going to try to follow my uncle's footsteps.
Yeah.
And it was such a blessing, you know, to be able to be up underneath their that knowledge of my uncles, to be able to really teach us the industry. Like it's not what you see on TV or what you think it is. You know, if you don't respect and if you don't love this business, I'm going to tell you right now, turn around, pack your bags, and you're going to go home of it. So that's what it was. I wasn't going back home to my mom. You know, my mom was Offensive's older sister, my late mother, and you know, I never turned back, dude. So it's one thing that, you know, that when I had this vision was 31 years ago in San Francisco, California. Yeah. And after a full loop of 31 years, 2015, that make that loop and to know that I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, where the city where I started my career, was just so huge and such a big deal to me. Like, you know, that dreams do come true, man, if you work hard. You know, anything you put your mind in, it doesn't have to be professional wrestling. It doesn't have to be, you know, whatever, you know, just in anything that you set your mind on. And I'm sure there's a lot of viewers that are tapping into this. This is the time for you kids to really turn around because of the technology that a lot of kids have today. I mean, this is where Kishi's life is after wrestling. This is where it's at. And so with all that technology that you guys have out there, I'm saying this and I'm giving advice out there, utilize that. Utilize your time very well, because you cannot get back time. You can't just, dreams don't come true if you don't work hard at it. And so you really have to get out there and then keep pushing forward, you know, motivated. You know, today's days, everybody's so negative. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you look like the wrong color, or you look like you're not a bodybuilder like me. You're fat. You're being bullied. You know, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's ruthless out there. But at the end of the day, it's the choice that you decide to make that's going to dictate where your path is going to go. You know, life is not made to be easy.
And it's in your hands. Anything easy is probably not worth having. So,
dude, I'm living proof of that, of a kid that came from the streets of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I was, man, when I tell you I was a bad kid, I was a bad kid. So it just was fitting that my mother threw me in professional wrestling for her brothers to train me. You know what I mean? And I had no idea that, you know, my career was going to turn out this way. Is because when my mindset was set that this is what I wanted to do, I wanted to be the best at it, man. And I wanted to learn everything from inside the office, inside the ring, locker room etiquette, what it feels like to travel, how to conserve your energy, how to save your money, you know what I mean? And just be a respectful person out there, because you're on the flip side. Anything I do, well, you know, you're the celebrity. You're going to be first get pointed at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's part of you training when you decide to do this type of industry, this type of business of what we're doing.
That's honestly, that's awesome. You answered one of my questions, because I was going to ask you, like, what would you say to someone who wanted to get into professional wrestling? But you've pretty much answered that. That's you couldn't have said it better, because that's true. And that's about anything in life. It's just, you got to believe in yourself, and you got to put in the work. It's hard work pays off. Like, things take time too. You got to be patient. I think a lot of thing about today's society is people want instant gratification. They think things are going to happen right away. Even little things. Like, I started this page in 2014. It's 2018, and now I'm live streaming with Rikishi. That's because I take this page very seriously. So you see what I mean? There's a couple of other questions. I'm going to ask a couple more questions. I'll let you go. I don't want to take too much of your time. Some popular ones in here. This one you can answer if you like. You don't have to answer it. Maybe just give a description about it, because it's come up a lot. What was BSK? The Bone Street Crew, what was it? If you tell me, you're going to have to kill me, I know.
Yeah, if I tell you, I'm going to have to kill you, man.
Thankfully, I'm only in Vancouver. But anyways, that's the answer, guys. That's all you're getting. There you go. Ask. What's another thing that people want to know?
Listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go call Sabio Vega. I'm going to call Godfather, and I'm going to bring them on here and see if they can come on your show here. And I want you to ask them. I'm not going to be the one to break the silence.
I just want to say ask. No, now nobody can tell me that I didn't ask. I asked, guys. That's it. It's done.
Oh my goodness. I need to start making a clothing line called BSK, man. What is
honestly,
BSK?
That would sell. You don't understand. It's really over. If you sold some BSK shirts, I'm 110% sure they'd sell. That's a really good idea.
Well, we'll have to talk after.
And then if you put it, you should put that on the back if you want to know what it's about. If I tell you, I'm gonna have to kill you. That'd be an awesome shirt. But what else was I gonna ask? Another thing that people always want to know about is obviously one of the most memorable angles was the whole running over Stone Cold and then working with Stone Cold in that period of time. Like, how was that for you? Like, how did that feel to be able to know that you were doing like main event spots with Stone Cold and The Rock and everybody else?
Oh my goodness, man! I mean, we tapped on this last night when we were on the Xbox show. First of all, Steve, be able to give it an opportunity to work with icons such as Steve Austin and The Rock. That Attitude Era, I mean, I can't tell you how grateful and how thankful that I was given that opportunity, man. I mean, we were, the Attitude Era during that time. I mean, it was, and it had, to me, it's the best era of all time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
When you work against guys like Steve Austin, he's such a pro, man. Steve, he comes out there and he brings it to you every night. And so, we had good chemistry, man. I mean, the story that went through that, that I ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sorry, Steve. But I mean, it was such an honor and a pleasure to work with him every night, because we probably ran together for about a year or so. And so bouncing back with The Rock on different pay-per-views, with myself and Triple H with that storyline, and it was fun to me, and like I said on Xbox show last night. There was just one thing that I wish that would have happened because I was excited that I felt during that time I should have had a run for the WWF heavyweight tag team world champion belt at that time. And that's one thing that I wish I would have had the opportunity to be able to become a world champion.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that would have been the perfect time too. Like everyone was behind it, everyone was invested in it, and it was a great angle. And it played like that. And I think that's kind of sometimes what's missing today is that it all made sense how they explained it. Like, oh, you did it, so The Rock could be this guy. But then, oh, Triple H was the accomplice. It was smart. It was great stuff. How did you feel?
They need to hire some more good writers up there.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit. I don't want to say that, but just a little bit.
Just a little bit. We want some excitement, man. I want some attitude. I want some attitude and excitement. Yeah. So, but listen, man. I want to say this before I exit out of here.
Yeah.
On a personal note, man, to all the fans out there, I'd like to, on behalf of my family, Samoan Dynasty, and myself, just to thank you for all the love. To know that WWE's been up for well over 100 years, and my family's been a part of WWE for 75 years in the industry with them as well. Different family members were part of this, and just to say thank you for all the support, thank you for all the love. To know that every time that we came out to perform in your city or in your country, it was always 110%. That when we came out to perform for you fans. And I just want to simply say, with love and respect, thank you all for all the love and continued support that you've given my family throughout the years.
And we appreciate you too, man. Like, you're a big part of my childhood. I know that for sure. I'm not going to lie. There might have been some stink faces on the playground. But
all right. Awesome. So let's get it one more time. It's if you're in the SoCal area, or if you guys are all following Wrestling Classic here, make sure you guys, it's Sunday, April 29th, Southern Fair, California, Paris, California. It's going down. It's Wrestlefair.com. You can go on there and purchase all your tickets online, or you can also get your tickets at the door, Wrestlefair.com. So make sure you guys stop by. And I ask that please that everyone that are in this interview can also share at Knokxpro. You'll see the social media handles there at Knokxpro. That's KNOKXPRO. Also on Twitter, KNOKXPRO. And also on Facebook, the verified page that says Knokxpro Entertainment. Okay, you can also follow myself at The Real Rikishi on Twitter. And also you can see me right here, JR Rikishi Fatu on IG, and also my verified blue check page on Facebook. It's JR Rikishi Fatu. Okay?
I appreciate your time. This is really cool for me as well. Thank you. I'll share more about the event this Sunday as well on my page, so you can check it out. You guys know where to find me. I will be plugging it. You'll see it. And I'll save this interview so you guys can continue to watch it. Thanks for doing this with me. It means a lot. I appreciate your time. I wish I could be there this Sunday, but next year.
I'm G.
Have a good one.
I'm G, my man. Take care of yourself.
Love you. Thank you. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm gonna save that so you guys can watch it. I'm gonna try to save it right now too, to maybe I'll post it on YouTube so you guys can watch it again, and maybe we'll be able to do it another time with Rikishi. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I tried to ask a lot of your questions, and yeah, man. Hopefully, if he had a good time right now, we'll get to do that again. And hopefully that'll inspire other wrestlers to want to do something like that with me as well. We don't know, but it is what it is. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens. I'll share the stuff. So if you're in the SoCal area, go to the event. Not if you want to become a professional wrestler, you're interested in training to become a wrestler, check out Knokxpro. I will be back in a little bit. So yeah, talk to you guys in a bit. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate all of you. I don't know why I just blew a kiss. That's not like me at all. Ooh, yeah. Talk to you later.